Welcome to this week, Who's the Champ? I'm your host, Chris Helms, and you know what? We are finally here. It's the week of, we could call it an elite week in wrestling. And if you're going to start off the elite week, you got to start with the man at the top. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to the president and CEO of All Elite Wrestling, Mr. Tony Khan. Sir, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here today. It's a great week. Wednesday Night Dynamite coming up just hours from now. I love Charleston. It's a great town, and I'm excited to bring AEW to Charleston for Wednesday Night Dynamite. And there are still great tickets available. You want to come to the show live? It's going to be an awesome wrestling event. It starts just hours from now, Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. You got to be there live. We go live at 8 p.m. on TBS and HBO Max. This show is going to be on in 150 countries all over the world, and it's going to be live on TBS hours from now. Wednesday Night Dynamite will be an awesome show.
Absolutely. And you know, this isn't your first time here to Charleston. You know, so when the last time you were here in Charleston, I was such a fan when I heard AEW was coming to South Carolina. I was there for when y'all came to Columbia for the first time, and what a show it was. If you've never seen an AEW event live, you definitely have to be here this weekend. Excuse me, not this weekend, but this Wednesday. So what was it like being in Charleston the first time you were here?
Well, we had an awesome event. It's a beautiful, beautiful town. I loved having the show in Charleston. It's coming up hours from now. By the time you watch this, it might be tonight, Wednesday Night Dynamite. And I can't wait for this event. Charleston's such a beautiful community. I pack my golf clubs, and it's a beautiful place to have a wrestling show. And there's great wrestling fans in the Carolinas. So many great wrestlers have wrestled in the Carolinas over the years, including the legendary Sting. Sting is such a huge part of AEW, and he's one of the greatest wrestlers ever to come out of the Carolinas. And I certainly think he's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He's been a huge part of AEW. He was an undefeated World Tag Team Champion, and Sting retired undefeated as the champs, teaming up with Darby Allin. And now Darby Allin is the AEW World Champion. He is the top star in wrestling. He is such a great wrestler, and he has a huge world title fight coming up hours from now. And you can get your tickets to this fight at AEWTIX.com to see the AEW World Champion Darby Allin step into the ring against maybe the hottest wrestler in the world right now, the TNT Champion, the Jet, Kevin Knight. The Jet is on fire. Kevin Knight just defended the title on Collision against Hook, and last week on Dynamite versus one of the top stars in wrestling, MJF. Kevin Knight successfully beat MJF. Kevin Knight is the TNT champion, and now he has a chance to become the world champion. I can't wait for this fight. It has the big fight feel here in Charleston, and it's coming up hours from now. You can still get tickets. It's Wednesday Night Dynamite, AEW, AEWTIX.com, AEWTix.com has tickets. You can go online. You don't want to miss this show. And you can watch it for free. You don't have to come to the arena if you can't afford it, if you can't make it. You can watch it tonight on TBS. It'll be on at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Is the Central Time, but I think almost everyone watching this is going to be in Charleston, although I do know you have some fans out of market to watch your show, Chris. And it's going to be on TBS and HBO Max tonight, but it's great to see live wrestling. We're bringing the big fight feel to Charleston. The Jet, Kevin Knight, versus AEW World Champion Darby Allin for the world title in Charleston. AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite. It's just hours from now. You don't want to miss this show.
Oh, absolutely. You definitely don't want to miss it. And let's talk a little bit about AEW. You know, it was I called it the greatest alternative that is out there. I mean, you see stars like Okada, you see Moxley, you talked about Sting and Charleston. just like you said, with the NWA with Sting. I grew up, I was a little Stinger, had my face painted, I might not have the hair no more, but I used to have the blonde hair cut up. And you're such a wrestling fan as well, Were you so excited when you finally got Sting to come into the company? I remember watching it. I was actually in Destin, Florida when Sting made his return on AEW. I'm in a hotel yelling. So what was it like being backstage and seeing Sting return to professional wrestling?
Oh, it was an amazing, amazing thing. It was at Winter is Coming in 2020 that Sting returned to AEW, and Sting had a phenomenal run. His first match back in many years was at Revolution 2021, teaming up with Darby Allin. And then Sting and Darby teamed up for 3 years, from Revolution 21 to Revolution 2024. And Sting had a 3-year run undefeated the entire time he wrestled in AEW. He won every match teaming up with Darby. They were an incredible team. They were the great World Tag Team Champions. And Sting was such a positive influence. He was great to everybody in the backstage. He was really a great mentor to the wrestlers. He's such a great leader in the locker room. And the fans love Sting all over the world. So we had people coming into AEW and watching AEW all over the world to see the legendary Sting. And we made so many new fans thanks to him. And
Absolutely.
with Darby Allin now, he is the world champion. So Sting's mentorship and leadership certainly helped Darby as well. Darby was already a top star. He was the TNT champion. And then he really leveled up to become the top star in the world. First World Tag Team Champions with Sting, now the world champion. Darby worked so hard. We're all so proud of him. And I think the person proudest of Darby is Sting. And I know Sting will be there. He doesn't like to take up the TV time, but I know he's going to come out and say hi to the fans in Charleston at this event. I'm excited for the Stinger to be there to see Darby Allin defend his championship, although it could be a tough night. The last night, Darby and Kevin Knight stepped into the ring. Kevin Knight ended up putting Darby into the hospital. And it was a very, very tough night. It was actually Thanksgiving. And I spent Thanksgiving morning in the hospital with Darby. And thankfully he was okay. But it was a scary night. And Kevin Knight is a great wrestler, but he's very dangerous. And this is going to be an incredible fight. It'll be a hard-hitting fight. And these are two of the most athletic stars in the world. You can expect a really awesome, possibly high-flying, definitely entertaining World Championship match here in Charleston. And again, the tickets are available still. It's AEWTIX.com. You can still get great seats for this event. It's not that often that the big world title fights and the big wrestling TV shows live on TBS, live on HBO Max, for this to come through Charleston, it doesn't happen very often. Take advantage of it. You can get great tickets. You can be there. And then you can go back and watch yourself on TBS, on HBO Max, or both. And you'll be in two places at once. It's going to be a great show. Don't miss it coming up. I think by the time a lot of you are watching this, it's going to be Wednesday, which means Wednesday night Dynamite is hours from right now. You can get your tickets right now or watch the show tonight.
Absolutely. So with all the great things that AEW has done, I mean, selling out Wembley Stadium, Texas Stadium, like so much, so grandeur, when AEW was announced, one of the biggest stars that you locked in was Chris Jericho. So, and what he has done for AEW in all these years, being that locker room leader, that ring general, what is Chris Jericho's been to you since he's been at AEW?
Well, Chris Jericho is one of the most important people ever in AEW. I think it was so important to creating AEW to have Chris Jericho in All Elite Wrestling. He was the first ever AEW World Champion and a dominant force from the beginning of AEW. And Chris's star power, his huge name, his leadership, Chris really helped us launch AEW from the very beginning, and he's still competing at a high level. We've seen Chris come back, and he is wrestling at a top level. He looks phenomenal. He's such a great star. So to have Chris Jericho in AEW has been very important to us from the very beginning and to this day. Chris Jericho will be there tonight, and I'm really excited to have Chris Jericho back in AEW. He's a great wrestler, and he's very important to the history of all elite wrestling.
I mean, everyone's got to sing Judas tonight. Everybody's got to sing Judas. You know, you being a lifelong wrestling fan, we've all heard stories of the ECW arena everywhere that you have been. Who are some of the people that you are absolutely excited that, you know, the young stars or even the legends? Who have you been so excited? We're all fans, and sometimes you get a little giddy inside. Who are some of that really excited you?
Sting, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Oh,
Ric Flair.
oh, yeah.
And they've all been involved in AEW at times. We've had other great legends that I have so much respect for, like Greg Valentine, and a lot of other great names from the past come through. For me, the three top in recent years have been Sting, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Ric Flair, and also at the original AEW event, the first Double or Nothing, we had Bret Hart present.
That's right. Reveal the title.
AEW World Title, exactly. And Bret Hart is another one of the greatest wrestling stars of all time, and I have so much respect for Bret Hart personally and professionally.
What has the elite been for all elite? You know, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Adam Page. You know, what to you? How would there be an AEW if it wasn't for the elite?
Oh, absolutely. The elite are instrumental in the launch of AEW from the very beginning. And to have these great stars competing in AEW to this day and making huge impact, and also being legends in this promotion now with multiple championship wins, and some of the greatest memories in AEW involve the elite. And to have the Young Bucks, Hangman Adam Page, and Kenny Omega that have been a huge part of AEW for many years, and continue to be very involved and instrumental in this company. We're very fortunate that they were available, and I'm so glad that the Young Bucks, Hangman Adam Page, and Kenny Omega have been a big part of AEW for many years.
And one of the things that when I heard that I was going to get the chance to sit down and talk to you is I wanted to commend you for one of the darkest times here in the world, the pandemic. You took the one thing that everyone could hang on to was wrestling, and you were able to put it in an outside event. And I took the chance, you know, at the time we didn't realize what we really had then. And I went back and I watched some of the old pay-per-views. I watched Stadium Stampede, you know. So you were one of the forefronts on it. How do you feel looking back now? You look back and it was still great wrestling going on at that time that you were able to put on. How do you feel being on the forefront of doing that?
Well, Chris, that means a lot. I really appreciate you saying that. Thank you. I really enjoyed the wrestling we put on. I've enjoyed AEW from the very beginning. I think it's a great wrestling company, and AEW is where the best wrestle. And that was certainly true in that lockdown pandemic period. AEW put on the best shows, and I really enjoyed it. It was a challenge, and I looked at it as keeping the wrestling going for the fans on TV, but also I created a safe live experience that got a lot of fans out to the shows. And we were able to bring the fans back safely. You know, I looked at the drive-in movie theaters around the country that were the first ones to open up and start showing movies. And I thought, okay, well, I have an outdoor amphitheater in Jacksonville. We've got Daly's Place. This is a great venue for this. And I basically gave every group of family or friends their own section of seats. And then it was like their car at the drive-in movie theater. And it was a great experience. And that seating pattern, that kind of checkerboard configuration of seating, ended up being very useful, because about a little over a month later, the NFL came back. And the only two teams in the NFL at the start of 2020 had fans in the stands, the Chiefs and the Jaguars. And the Jaguars, we came back and we had already been hosting live events with AEW in Jacksonville. So we had a lot of knowledge and a plan, And we came back, and again, week one, we were one of the only two teams in the NFL that put fans in the stands for football. And we did that throughout the season. It worked very well. We have no known COVID transmissions from NFL or AEW coming to the events as fans. And I really thought that that was a fantastic way to present the shows. Also having a group of wrestlers around the ring that were very excited, made noise. I got that idea from watching The Tonight Show. The Tonight Show during the lockdown period, the early episodes at the very beginning before the shows moved to Zoom, when they were still doing them in the studios in March 2020, I saw some of the different talk shows. And I saw The Late Show, and it was like, it was completely empty. There was nobody reacting to the jokes, and it was very different. And then I saw The Tonight Show, and it was also different, but it was less jarring to me because they had the staff behind the camera, and they were laughing at the jokes, and it was like listening to somebody in a comedy club. It was a different experience than watching somebody in the studio with hundreds of people on The Tonight Show. But there were still enough people there that it was a recognizable form of comedy. And I think we were able to present a recognizable form of wrestling by putting wrestlers around the ring in the early weeks and months, and then very quickly launching a program for fans to come back into the stands as well. So I think we also put on tremendous events in that period. And it's why that era of AEW is so highly regarded. And then when we went back on the road, there was so much buzz because people had been watching the AEW shows and enjoying them in the lockdown. And it gave us a great boost for our touring as well. We have great wrestling fans all over the world, just like there in Charleston. There are great fans, and hope to see a lot of you hours from now for Wednesday Night Dynamite coming up tonight. You don't want to miss this show. We're talking about how throughout the years there have been so many great AEW TV shows. This is going to be a great show, and you'll want to be there live and in person. It's coming up at 8 p.m. on TBS tonight, but you can be there live. Get there by 7:30. There's pre-show matches. We'll be filming some great stuff before the show starts. I'll come out and talk to you tonight, to the crowd, and visit with you before the show starts. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then we go live on TBS. It's the best wrestling in the world, and you can still get your tickets at AEWTIX.com, AEWTix.com. And I strongly recommend you come out to the wrestling matches tonight.
Absolutely, sir. And right before I let you go, I always do Mount Rushmores and things like that. But I got one for you for being a promoter and a booker as well. You know, your partnership with New Japan, your partnership with down in Mexico, and with Ring of Honor. You own a Ring of Honor. Give me a dream match you want to do that you have not, that you're able to do, but you haven't been able to do yet. There's a lot of them out there.
Well, that's a great question. I think there are so many phenomenal stars throughout the world of wrestling. In Mexico, one of the greatest wrestlers is Mystico. Mystico is a great star. He's been a great champion in AEW as a World Trios champion, and he's a phenomenal wrestler and a legend. Another great legend in wrestling is the international champion in AEW, Kazuchika Okada. I think Kazuchika Okada versus Mystico would be an incredible match.
Oh.
And they're two great legends of the sport, and I would love to see that.
Absolutely. That would be a great one. Mr. Khan, thank you so much for sitting down with me today. You know, man, this was great. I was looking forward to this one. Thank you so much. And also, you know, I'm a Jaguars fan, but I'm also, you know, as a Clemson fan, and y'all got Trevor Lawrence. You know, I love Trevor Lawrence. You know, when he was with Clemson and everything, and I love watching him.
Well,
but sir,
Trevor's
thank you.
Great player. He's a great player. He's great for the Jaguars. He's a great leader for us, and we're really lucky to have Trevor Lawrence at the Jaguars as our leader, our starting quarterback. He's a great star and a great person off the field.
Absolutely.
And such a tremendous quarterback. We're very fortunate to have Trevor Lawrence, and we love him in Jacksonville at the Jaguars.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you for joining me today. And I can't wait to see you Wednesday night.
It's coming up. It's Wednesday hours from now, so let's go. It's going to be a great event for the people watching. It's tonight, Wednesday night
sir.
Dynamite. You got to be there. Don't miss this show. It's a great chance. We're bringing the big fight field to Charleston. You don't want to miss this. It's a great show, and you want to be there tonight. AEW.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.